Hey guys, what's up? I'm Ashley. Thank you for watching this video. And today we're going to be talking about season 1 episode 6 of Cruel Summer. But first, like this video if you like it. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about this episode. Share this video, let everybody know. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And with that being said, let's get right to it. So this episode took place August 15th. 1993, 1994, and 1995. It's Jeanette's parents' anniversary, Cindy and Greg. We got to see what happened on their anniversary for those 3 different years. 93 was a much more happier time. 94 seemed like it was happy, but it was not at all. In 95, they weren't even together. But we finally found out where Cindy's been this whole time in 95. We've been wondering, and now we know. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. 94 is when Cindy finds out about Angela. Angela sent a note to the house for Greg saying, "Thank you for setting me up with the perfect house." And Cindy was like, "Who's Angela?" And if y'all remember, Angela and Greg met inside of the video store. And his mouth was wide open. He was ready to risk it all. He was flirting with her, talking about, "Here's my card, I'm in real estate." So we're still in 94, and during this time, people are calling Jeanette's house, harassing her, calling her names, and the whole family. And this triggered Cindy to go in Jeanette's room and snoop all over the place. She was all up in her closet, and then she found this jewelry box, and she was all up in her jewelry box. She didn't find nothing inside, so she turned it over, and when she turned it over, she found this key. She went to Greg and was like, "Is this the key to Martin's house?" She's telling him that, "I know she's lying. She's involved in this some kind of way. I don't know how, but she is involved. First, she lied about that necklace, and now she lied about this key." And Greg was like, "Well, did you ask her about the key?" And she's like, "Yeah, I asked her about the key, and she lied about it." Greg was all on Jeanette's side. He wasn't trying to hear nothing about it. And Cindy was like, "Well, let's go see if this is the key to his house. Like, let's go open the door." And Greg was like, "Are you crazy? It's broad daylight. Anyway, I have a showing to go to." And then she's like, "Well, let's go at night. Let's go at night and see if this is the key." And he's like, "No, I don't got time for it." I can't stand Greg. He's a crusty man. So yeah. Anyway, when Cindy was talking to Jeanette about it, Jeanette was like, "No, are you like, I haven't been in the house, like you don't believe me, blah, blah, blah." Everybody's trying to make Cindy feel like she losing her mind, like she crazy, and she's not crazy at all. She knows something going on. So since, Jeanette was lying to her and her husband wasn't trying to hear it, she went to her son. What's his name? What's that boy's name? Derek. Yeah, Derek. She was like, went to Derek and tried to talk to him about it, and she told him that she thinks that Jeanette is lying, and he was like, nah. I just can't with these people. He was like, "Go call Aunt Susan and talk to her about this because I don't got time. I'm going to college." No wonder she up and left. Shit. No wonder. So later on, she went back to her crusty husband and was like, "Remember that time I said I wanted to be a flight attendant?" And he started laughing at her, and she was like, "What you laughing at?" And he was like, "You over here trying to make it seem like you serious." And she's like, "I am serious." She's like, "I always wanted to see the world." And he was like, "Are you crazy, girl? You got 2 kids to raise." And then she started talking about how she always wanted Jeanette to blossom. And then she finally did, but she never taught her how to. That's why she's out here acting crazy and got all of us in this situation. She told him one more time, she was like, "Go try this key for yourself." And he's like, "Did you go to the house and try this key?" And she was like, "You don't take me seriously, but one day you gonna find out. And when you do, it's gonna break your heart. I'm gonna go stay with my sister for a while. You don't take me serious." So that's where she's been. She's been living with her sister, and she's a whole flight attendant now. She got up out of there. Everybody's trying to make her seem like she a fool. Ain't nobody taking her seriously. So she was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go after my dreams. My daughter out here acting a fool. My husband ain't no good. I'm about to get up out of here." She ran, y'all, and I would have ran too. So we saw that Greg took her advice and he went to the house at night because she went in broad daylight, y'all. She was like, "The sun out? Cool. I'm about to go see if this key fit in this door. Everybody gonna see if this key fit." So yeah, Greg went at night. He put the key inside of the door hole, and what do you know? It opened wide up. And guess what he did? He had a tantrum. And he started knocking stuff over. I was like, "Ooh, your fingerprints gonna be on stuff and you gonna go to jail." Probably not, but probably not. So in 93, Vincent, Mallory, and Jeanette are still doing that dumbass list, and on the list is that they have to steal. So they go to the mall to steal, and in the fitting room, Mallory and Jeanette was taking censor off things. They had a censor take an offer, and then they just left out. They didn't get caught, but Vincent was in another store by himself stealing a CD, and he got caught. But Jeanette took the rap for that, and when she went to the stealing office, she saw Jamie in there. Of course, you see Jamie in there with his delinquent ass, and he's like, "What are you doing in here? It doesn't seem like you get in trouble." And she was like, "Yeah, I do." And then he was like, "Okay, well, tell me how." And she was like, "Okay, well, sometimes." And then she gets cut off because her dad walked in the door to come pick her up. And I'm just wondering, what the hell was she about to say? But the gag is, the store that Mallory and Jeanette was stealing out of, this lady named Tanya works there. And Tanya is Tanilli. I think that's her name, Tanilli. That's her mom. And Tanilli is Kate's best friend, or used to be best friend. So anyway, Tanya, or Tanya, whatever it is, she claims to have some damning information against Jeanette that could hurt her case. And Jeanette's telling her lawyer, she was like, she won't say anything. And Jeanette's lawyer's like, well, she could. And Jeanette's like, yeah, well, she won't. And she was pretty sure about that. She was confident. And the only reason why she was so confident is because Jeanette had some information, some damning information on Tanya. Jeanette rolled up on Tanya at her job, and she was like, I know you're not about to go to court and say some stuff about me that could hurt me. And she was like, well, what if I do? And Jeanette was like, you won't, because I'll tell everybody about your little secret. And that scared her and kept her quiet, because her secret is that Tanilli's dad is not her biological dad. And like, she's just using him to get child support. She's using him for maternity fraud. And Jeanette's like, well, I'm gonna tell everybody. So when it was time for Tanya to, go in front of the attorneys or whoever they were, she was like, basically they asked her, if Jeanette's lying or whatever. And she was like, no. Then they were like, well, what about the information you said you had that brought us all here? What's the tea, sis? And she was like, it was a misunderstanding. That all happened in 95, by the way. Yeah, she knew better. And the only reason why Jeanette pulled up on her in the first place is because she knows that Tanya is a liar. Jeanette was doing her normal everyday thing, breaking inside of Martin's house, stealing a CD. Martin and Tanya came in and she almost got caught. She had to hide up in this closet. Basically, Tanya forced Martin into going on a date with him. Like, she forced herself at his house for like dinner or drinks or something like that. And while they were there, they were sitting on the couch and she was just throwing herself at him, okay? And Martin looked scared. And I was like, oh, why he looks so scared? And then I was like, oh, he looks scared and nervous because he don't know what to do with that. He like little girls. So Jeanette was waiting for a time that she can escape, but she ended up being in that closet for a long time, up until the fact that Tanya caught her in the closet. They both agreed that they didn't see each other there, because while she was in that closet, she heard her tell Martin that that's not her daughter's biological dad and that she's using him to get child support. So they both agreed that they was doing something wrong and that they wasn't about to tell nobody. So that's why Jeanette rolled up on her, pulled up on her at her job, and was like, I know you're not about to tell, because if you do, I got something to tell about you. Tanya was telling all the news people during her interview that Martin was like throwing himself at her. He was being aggressive, making up all these lies about Martin, but really she was being aggressive and forcing herself on him. It's a big lying-ass mess. So in this episode, Cindy rolled up on Angela at her job. It wasn't no drama though. They seemed to get along really good. They was laughing. They had drinks together. Derek told her that Angela worked there, so she knew where to come. She asked her about Jeanette, how Jeanette was doing, because Jeanette won't speak to her, and she told her that Jeanette misses her, even though Jeanette just told Angela that she doesn't miss her mom. And Jeanette found out that Vincent is gay. She walked in on them at his job at the video store, and she agreed to keep it a secret, but she's happy for them. And I'm happy too. And that's about it for this episode. Let me know what you thought about it. Tell me your theories. I want to know them. Leave a comment down below. Like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.